Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the School of Entrepreneurship Development, SED, I warmly welcome you to another session of our Meet the Global Leaders series. Today, we are honored to host Donika Blaku, a communications and cultural diplomacy professional with experience in education, international relations, project management, and strategic communications. Her inspiring journey includes working on social impact initiatives and completing an internship at the German Bundestag, reflecting her commitment to global leadership and cross cultural collaboration. In today's session, we will explore her career journey, the importance of communication and cultural intelligence, and practical insights for students aspiring to build international careers. So, to kick off our conversation, I'd love to hand it over to our guest today, Donika. Welcome. How are you doing today?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Shatabdi, for having me for the introduction and everything. I'm doing well. I'm very honored and excited to be here. And I really hope that our conversation helps students get a better insight on the careers that they want to pursue and help them in any way that I can. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Um, so, could you please start by giving our audience a brief introduction of yourself and the work you do, specifically what work you do?
Yes, of course. So my name is Donika Blaku. I am from Kosovo, Pristina. It's a country in the Balkans in Europe. Currently, I work as a translation coordinator at PECB, a Canadian company here in Pristina. And we work with the translation of ISO standards. But in general, my career and my path has crossed into different areas. And my studies, I have studied international relations and cultural diplomacy, but I have also studied English language. In general, I have changed my career and my paths into different departments because I'm very a curious person and I like to challenge myself. So, yes, maybe this is a short introduction.
That was
Yes.
wonderful to hear. So, you have already told us that you've worked with language, diplomacy, communication, and everything. Donika, your journey beautifully combines these aspects: language, diplomacy, education, communication, and international experience. So, looking back, how did you actually get into it? Where, what actually inspired you, your passion for cultural and global communication?
When I think back, I cannot find a specific moment where it all started, but I know that whenever I would meet someone coming from another country, I would stop them and ask them, "Where are you from? What is your language?" Learning different phrases in their language or about their culture because that fascinated me. I always wanted to learn more about their culture and their language. And I think that that grew even more when I had the chance to travel abroad and study abroad. And the more that I met international people from different countries, the more I wanted to learn about it, which then led into me learning English language and also cultural diplomacy and international relations. I think it started somewhere and it grew every time more and more. And it became just a part of me, not just a passion or something. It's part of my identity, I think, now.
So, I think I can understand that. Like, uh, sometimes we cannot pinpoint something, but
Yes.
everything around us actually inspires us. So I was also going through your LinkedIn profile,
Mm-hmm.
and it was actually I noticed that you're an alumni of Hochschule Fortwangen, if I'm not pronouncing it
You're
wrong.
pronouncing great.
Okay, so during your university years as a student, what activities or experiences outside the classroom you think helped shape your confidence and professional abilities the most?
I think that I tried to attend as many extracurricular activities as I could. I think that attending them, these activities helped me a lot into becoming the person that I am today, and to build confidence in different areas. I attended different internships. I volunteered. I also was part of different Erasmus Plus trainings, which allowed me to travel around Europe and meet different people. So, getting out of my comfort zone and exposing myself into these activities, meeting these people, and challenging myself in different areas, I think helped me the most. So, not just the studies itself. So, yeah, I think that was it.
Traveling is, it does sound wonderful, actually. I really like the uh, aspect of traveling everywhere and everything. I, I in fact I have plans for myself to go study abroad after my graduation here. So it is inspiring. It is very inspiring to hear you talk about it.
I'm so glad to
Um,
hear that, and I wish you best of luck in your studies abroad.
Thank you, Danica.
You're
So,
welcome.
you've said you've studied English and then you have a master's in international relations and cultural diplomacy. So, these are two very different fields, and I'd ask you that how these two fields complement each other in preparing you for international opportunities.
I think that while learning English, it helped me a lot about like to learn a lot about languages and to build communication skills, which then allowed me to freely speak with people from different areas and different countries, because you know English is an international language which unites us all, which it was easier for me to reach out to different people from different countries, which is a great thing. But also connecting to then changing my field into international relations and cultural diplomacy, I could also see how global affairs work, and to understand the importance of diplomacy and culture in general in our lives. So I think they both complemented each other very well and helped me get more opportunities, international opportunities afterwards. During my studies, I also had the chance of meeting people from different countries and reaching out to different organizations. So that helped as well.
Okay. Um, So we often hear buzzwords like everyone is saying that we should communicate more, communication is important. Everyone's saying that, but uh, our let's say our mentors, they often forget to tell us why communication is important. They just say communication is important. You should communicate more, connect with more people. I want to ask you how these communication skills actually help in our career professionally, let's say international careers.
Yes, thank you for the question. Like you said, we hear it everywhere. I also agree, and I think that regardless of where people like what their field of studies is, I think that they all should like improve their communication skills, because they are very helpful in everyday life, not just in your career. I think good communication brings you more opportunities and more people, because when you know maybe to ask the right questions, you will also get the correct answers and everything. But in general, from what I've learned, it's not just the good communication, but it's also important to take initiative in general. I know that, for instance, we may be shy or we may be afraid of rejection in different situations, but maybe reaching out to people first, showing our ideas and our initiatives, the things that we're working on, will help us get create a good network of people and get more opportunities in our lives. So I don't think it's very important just the communication and the way that you communicate, but also reaching out. Maybe I uh, went a bit out of the question, but from my experience, initiative is the key in general in any area, even when you're looking for a job or you're want to study something or you're attending a different event. So initiative is the key. That's what I've learned from life.
Yeah, and communication, let's say, uh, as some students around us are, they can be very introvert and they can
Yes.
be very shy, and it is hard to reach out to some people sometimes, and there can be a fear surrounding reaching out to professionals, and I think it is very helpful to hear professionals about this, the communication, that they are always open to it. That can be very helpful to the students themselves. It can be
Yes.
comforting sometimes.
Yes, and if I may add, maybe if people are very shy, I'm not just saying about live events, for instance. I'm saying to reach out, for instance, to a company or an NGO to show your enthusiasm about participating in an event or volunteering or things like this. It doesn't have to be always breaking the ice and talking to people in person. It can be just creating opportunities yourself by, for instance, sending your CV to an organization or showing like you want to be a volunteer at a specific event or something like things like this. I think this can help. It's more in this way because I completely understand that people can be shy and it's maybe completely like out of their comfort zone to do that. So this was the main idea behind it.
So you've said connecting to certain companies or organizations with CVs. Do you have any specific suggestions for, let's say, preparing the CV?
Yes, let me think. I think it's good to study the company or the role that you're applying for. It's always good to show the strength that you have, which match with the organization, because in that way you will seem more compatible and you will be have the same profile as the company is looking for. It's good that you do not make the CV very long. You stick to short and direct sentences stating your like the roles that you have had so far. Other than that, I think it depends from the companies, but it shouldn't be longer than 2 pages long. And in general, when you are at the beginning of your career, I think it's important to show enthusiasm that you're willing to participate and do everything that you can, because maybe by then you will not have gained enough experience. But to show enthusiasm that you really love what that company is doing and you are very passionate about it. I think that also matters a lot. For instance, that could be also mentioned in your um, um, reference, a recommendation
CV.
letter, motivation letter. Sorry.
Motivation later. Yeah.
Yes, I hope that helped. But yeah, that's how I see it.
It is helpful. I can confirm that. And
Okay.
how you said it, that at the start of our careers, we do not have a lot of experiences.
Yes.
Like, I'm constantly watching my seniors, they have CVs stacked up there, like international standard CVs. And they're doing so much, life moves on so fast that sometimes it can be very overwhelming that uh, how to actually prepare for the work life, the career, and Of course, every company, every organization wants the best for their team. They only want the best professional work team. So um, the freshly graduates who are just entering the work field, their careers, it can be very tough for them to actually gain work, to achieve work
Yes.
in certain companies, in organizations. Okay, that was enlightening. So I saw that you have internships. You have experienced internships at Deutscher Bundestag. Uh, that was incredibly inspiring to see.
Thank
So,
you.
can you share something, a certain incident, or let's say certain moments during that uh, experience, your internship, that changed your perspective on leadership or diplomacy itself?
Yes, of course. During my internship, one of the most memorable experiences I would say was when so I worked with a deputy of the German parliament, and we had a week where we went into his constituency, so at his hometown where he worked, because we would usually work at the German parliament. And during those days, I was accompanying him uh, all day at every meeting and every activity that he had on his agenda. And I could closely see how he worked. And he was very passionate. He really loved what he did. He loved his job, and he was very open, welcoming citizens, talking to them, listening to their concerns, and was always willing to help them and to take notes on what needs to be done in the future. And regardless of the uh, part that the meetings that we went to were quite different from each other, he was always very prepared, very enthusiastic and energetic, and he was professional. And I really admired that about him, about his leadership and diplomacy, the way that he used it. So that has stuck with me since then. And I was very happy to see that there are people who really work on their mission and vision and do the best that they can in their job, especially that kind of job where that can impact many people's lives. So that was quite remarkable for me to experience firsthand.
Okay, so you said you've seen German Parliament ongoing.
Yes,
Am I right?
yes.
So, how was that experience, if I may ask?
It was quite out of this world, actually. It was, I think I was very lucky to be there. It was amazing because I could see them work every day. I would meet, I would go to panel discussions and see different places that you cannot see really into daily life. It was quite amazing. Really, I
Exactly.
cannot explain it, and I would really highly encourage people to maybe learn German language, because that is one of the criterias about getting accepted, and maybe even people from Bangladesh can attend there, because it's a very, I'm not sure about that, but that is one of the criterias, and maybe they can also learn that and then get ready to apply and experience it that themselves.
Yes, Parliament itself is a very interesting experience, and I'm sure
Yes,
our students will be more than happy to hear about it.
yes. I can
So,
share links and everything if you need afterwards. I'm very happy to share my experience even more. Sorry for interrupting.
thank you, Donika.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So, um, we are living in this, already we've discussed this aspect that the world is moving on. It's very fast, and uh, at this age, where everything is moving fast, everyone is moving fast around you. it it is sometimes at like 20 or 22, at the age of 22. I am
Mm-hmm.
22, so
Okay.
I'm in my sophomore year. So sometimes it can be overwhelming studying a theoretical subject. It can be overwhelming thinking that what our future will be, what career will be like. So we don't really have that opportunity to experience a lot sometimes.
Yes.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us, we do not have that opportunity. However, you've done that. You have experienced a lot of things. You have experimented. You've
Mm-hmm.
studied English. You've went on to achieve a master's degree in international relations and cultural diplomacy. You've been a very inspiring international student, and with the internship opportunities and everything, it was very enlightening to see you
Thank
and
you.
your work. So, what would you say? Is the experimentation really important for all the students, or should they just stick to the regular, the traditional way of study? Should they just choose one specific department? What would be your suggestion?
I think that it all depends on the person, first of all, because we are all different in our own way. The idea, the reason why I experimented that much was because I am a very curious person in general. And maybe if people are not that curious like me, maybe for them it might not work to change departments and areas that often, because they like to have comfort and stability in a way that they want to go like always on the same path, more or less. However, when we are young, I think during our youth, it's quite important, it's essential to experiment, because we might have some ideas in our mind, but things maybe we might be wrong or something. And if we experiment regularly in different areas, we can find out who we really are and what we really want from life. And through these experiments, we can become the person that we have to be. Maybe some we find out something that we never thought about during that path. I think it's extremely important to experiment, to make mistakes, to learn from them, and also not to feel like the pressure of time, that I have to be at a certain place at a certain time, because I think that's the beauty of life, uh, just to live and try and see where it goes, like where it takes you. In my opinion, like in my experience, I wanted to just to try, because maybe at times I didn't know what I wanted and I tried something new. Sometimes I wanted to challenge myself in areas that I thought that I need improvement. So that's why I experimented and tried different things until I found out what really works for me. So yeah, basically I would suggest to experiment, but if there are people who like where they are in that certain way, that is also their choice, and I respect that as well. Do whatever works for you in the end. Yeah.
So mostly go with the flow, but
Yeah.
do it on your own, um, let's say, choice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, maybe that could be like the short interpretation of what I said in a summary of it. Yes.
Okay. So you have traveled a lot, and let's Germany, Kosovo, and many other countries. Hopefully, you've traveled
Yeah.
Europe, and reaching out to these many cultural diversities.
Mhm.
How how was it? How was the experience?
Uh, in general, like traveling somewhere, whenever I travel to another country, it's like I go into another universe because it's there are always there's something new there. There's a different energy, different people, different cultures. It's quite an amazing experience because I think it teaches you that there's more to life than what you experience daily. Like there are different perspectives, different mindsets out there, and that I think that is quite refreshing and quite helps you grow as a person and see life through um, different perspectives, because then you meet people from another background who has a completely different point of view about life, and that grows you and makes you more open in life and more empathetic, I think. And it helps you in so many ways. It's such a good experience, and I really wish that everyone will have that chance at least to go somewhere and to challenge themselves and to learn and grow out of it. So yeah, I think it's a great experience.
I hope so. Do you have any advice that you want to provide specifically for students who want to go global or want to be globally competitive professionals?
Yes, of course. I think that it matters a lot, first of all, to know what you want, or to find out what you want, who you want to be, like which career you would like to pursue, and that you love doing that. Because once you really love your job, uh, or you have a vision, you will find ways into making that possible. And of course, then becoming good at it and excel at it at some time in life. But when it comes to competition, um, I would highly suggest that uh, people, like, I think it's important not to compete with other people, but to compete with yourself, the version of you that was yesterday. Of course, to learn from people who maybe have become the person that you want to be, like to let that drive you and push you to become a better person, but always just to compare yourself with who you were, not with other people. So once you achieve that, maybe become very good at what you do, then you can also see what else can make you stand out in that field. For instance, to have, okay, maybe you are excellent at your job, at your profession, at your career. See what can help you go globally, maybe learning a language, developing a specific skill, make you finding something that makes you stand out from the rest. I think that that would be like a good idea, maybe the key to make you stand out, and in that way you can go more, become more competitive, and go more globally, or achieve everything that you want in a higher scale, not just locally or nationally. So that would be my advice or suggestion.
I highly relate to the fact that you've said not being competitive and just focusing on yourself instead. Uh, the competition is always there, especially growing
Yeah.
up. I've always felt that in the back of my mind, it was always there that, um, mm, let's say, my classmates are doing so much better in some aspects than me, and I'm doing really good in some aspects myself. So comparing these two can be really harmful sometimes. It can be very demotivating. So yes, I really relate to that.
Happy to hear
Um,
that.
so let's say we've talked about these skills, these communication skills, public speaking skills, um, working on our confidence. So, do you suggest anything specific to improve these skills, or how do we know if we are good at it?
Yes, of course. In general, of course, we all have different skills that we need to improve. Um, in general, I think regardless of the skill, it's very good practice and repetition. For instance, if you're, let's say, want to improve your communication skills or your public speaking, I would suggest, or do you have any specific skills in mind? I can also relate to that. I don't mind. Do you have any specific skills, or you just want me to talk about in general?
Let's say public speaking. I'm not like crazy good at it, but I'm trying to improve it recently.
Okay, sure. For public speaking, I would recommend, for instance, to first of all, let's say that you have to make a presentation or something. So I think it's very good to write down what you want to say, read it out loud, and for instance, practice it in front of a mirror so you can also see, for instance, the body language and the way that you're saying everything, how you're approaching to it. And then also try practicing with someone that you trust, that can give you a very honest feedback on how you're doing, and also let them just to practice and say it in front until you think you're good at it. But what is more important, it's not just the idea of being perfect at it or delivering it in an excellent way. I think what matters the most is the message behind it, because people usually remember the way that you make them feel, or the emotion that you provided during your speech. So I think that is very important, and I think that it's very people should know that for public speaking, it's quite normal to feel nervous at first, and it happens to most of us. So in every way and everywhere that you need more improvement, just start and know that it is a process, and with time, with repetition, you will get better. And just not to be harsh on yourself. And yeah, that's it basically. Hope this helps.
It is helpful, Donika. Like you said at the beginning, we are not very good at anything. Anything, it can be anything. Like tried. I've seen people who love singing, but they do not really sing in the right pitch, or let's say right scale.
Mhm.
But they can be very shy about it. They feel that it is not, they're not as good at it. But I've learned singing myself, and it's a whole process. Uh, and I was definitely not good at it at the beginning, but with time and with patience, it always gets better. So that was great to hear. So we're almost at the end of our conversation here. Um, so to sum up today's conversation, today's session, what is one message that you'd like to share again, or in general, with the students that are watching us? Um, just one message to sum up today's session.
Okay. I think that regardless of where you are, regardless of your circumstances, maybe you don't have opportunities maybe to travel abroad, or to have an maybe to reach what you want, to never give up, and to always do research and show up every day until you make that happen. Because, for instance, for me, when I started, it was almost impossible to travel abroad. We didn't have visa liberalization or anything, like it was very quite an isolated country. But I was very interested in making happen. And even though I had to do like all the work myself, it paid off after a while. So I think that everyone should never give up, follow their dreams, and with time, everything will pay off. So yeah, maybe this is the message that I would like to convey.
Yes, actually, studying abroad, it can be very complicated sometimes. And when you are from a lesser known country, uh, minus those first world countries, it can be very complicated. It is complicated. So um, just growing up from there, it is very admirable that you have to you've stuck to your dreams and you've gone to study abroad and you're doing so much right now. It is very wonderful to hear about your journey today, and I hope that this connection that we've grown today through our conversations. I hope this lasts, and it was very meaningful to talk to you. And I hope that our students, the people that will be watching our conversation, it is also as inspiring for them as it was for me. And I will definitely be applying your suggestions in my own life. So that's all. Um, Thank you,
Yeah.
Donika, for joining us today here.
Thank you as well, Shatabdi. It was a great pleasure talking to you. Thank you as well for showing your journey, and I wish you the best of luck in your opportunities abroad. And I would also love to connect again. And I am very open to share even more with your students if they have any extra questions after this conversation. I hope they help. Thank you for your time and everything. I loved talking to you.
Same goes for me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Donika.
Thank you, Shatabdi. All the best.
All the best.
Thank you.